Oh yeah, congrats to Lovejoy. He got a little baby boy. He's very cute and tiny and small. Hey everybody. I should tune this thing sometime. Oh, smoke like lightning, shining just like gold. Lord, didn't you hear me crying? Ow. I didn't plan any of this. Les Paul, Tube Screamer, Champ. Truly a classic combination. Hey everybody, this is Dead Dodge Garage Live. Unless you're listening to it in the future, which some people do, in which case it is Dead Dodge Garage no longer live. Everything's going bad. Hang on. Yeah. How's everybody doing? Happy Sunday. I messed up the whole studio. Everything's all goofy. Broke my headphones. Yeah, it's this whole thing. Am I really that quiet? Oh, I know why. Hang on. I was recording. Hello! That's too much. Should be better now. Or now I'm peaking. I don't know. It's hard to tell. I was recording vocals, so I screwed up all the levels. Oh, I broke the gate too, so my noise proofing is no longer connected to anything. Yeah, I pretty much just have to dime the volume, and then YouTube still says it's quiet, which is, yeah, I don't know. But anyway. Anyway, this is Dead Dodge Garage Live, the show where we don't take requests. But we do request that you hit the like button. Thanks, Mom. End of time. Just found my old rat pedal. Nice. I've got one somewhere in a bucket in pieces. It's been in pieces for like 15 years. Never really liked it. Stephen Andrews. Last week, I said I have that book, and I was not lying. I actually have that book. Well-worn copy. 1955-1956 Plymouth Service Manual for all models. Anyway, I'll scroll back up in the comments. My sister was first. My mother was second. Old Stuff Rules third. Kenneth Fluche, I hope. Or perhaps Fluche. How's it going? Chris Freemaster is here. Mopar Jimmy. Yeah, everything's going pretty well over here. We were out on the boat on Al Lake yesterday, which was super awesome. Damn rooster. Anyway, kind of wanted to stay there. Should have, but I came back to reality. Stacy Renner is here and says, greetings from our extremely smoky vacation spot in BC. Excuse me. We're actually in the same time zone for a change. Nice. Robert Fitch, Brad's Restorations, David Biznett. Thank you. Appreciate that. Dan Tupper is here. How you doing, Dan? Richard Scott, good evening. 69 Cornet 500. Yeah, apparently it's smoky here too. Yeah, that makes sense. That explains some things, actually. BCC Photech is back in the middle of the desert rain. Full Garage, good evening. Yeah, I had a great weekend. I'm going to turn that rooster into soup. Ella Andy, how you doing? Rich Jordan. Yeah. And Lovejoy, of course, who is a new daddy. Rich Jordan says, Cowboy Kent Rollins, the Prairie Cook, no idea, has a Studebaker chuck wagon from the 1800s. That company was around a long time. Yes. They were successful covered wagon manufacturers. Stacy says, there are mountains here, trust me. Oh, holy crap. Wow. Yeah, there's Stacy's view right now. Yeah, don't worry about the fact that it's hazy looking in the camera. It's actually hazy looking in real life. It's crazy. Lovejoy's son's named Alan after the famous Allen wrench, of course. Peter Dollery, how you doing? Chris Freemaster enjoyed the vid on the Studie. Would like to see more. Would make a cool daily driver for somebody. Yeah, I don't know if they're going to daily drive it, but I'm going to get it daily drivable. And then, yeah, I think they're going to hang on to it and drive it. So, yeah, there'll definitely be a lot more coming on that. Brakes, going to be the big one, and electrical stuff. But, yeah, it's a neat car. It's in really good shape. Helping Hands buddy Bucks and... We'll be happy to know about that. And his sister Torx. Nice. Granddad's Junk all the way from Kiwiland. How you doing there? Could have used a little more cowbell. I agree. Yeah. Yeah, I'm plugged in. There's a microphone, but it is an electric guitar. Anyway. How you doing, Mark? Albert Los, perhaps? Howdy from Texas. Howdy, Albert. How's it going? Yeah. Glenn Uromi, how you doing? Cleveland Maker. That is weird. Big C guy, love the videos. Thank you, appreciate that. If Colin is looking for a present for his son, Druk Auto has a 60 Sport Fury go-kart. Oh, dang it. Oh. All Classics Restoration in the house. What's happening? How's it going? I'm going to have to go murder a rooster. Robert Fitch sent a picture, but I don't have access to the Dead Dodge Garage Gmail on my phone. I only have it on the laptop, which is in there. I probably should put it on my phone. But I don't want to. I'm getting a little overwhelmed with all this stuff. There's so much stuff. Just so much stuff. That rooster was silent before I went live. I want you to know that. Crashes Roadrunner Garage. How you doing? Dalton Sparks. Snowmunk VX. Fresh hat. Who dat? It is a relatively fresh hat. It is actually dirty already. I got 2 this time. Check it out. I got a fresh shirt too. That is 5 Point Parts. Vanessa's company. If you ever bought, I've mentioned her many times, but if you ever bought parts from Wildcat Auto Wrecking like a year ago back, she would have been the one answering the phone probably. And yeah. She now has her own outfit, 5 Point Parts. She's super good at finding stuff. And she has really cool shirts. Good evening, Roy Cervantes. How you doing? Connor Lake Havasu is present. Nice. I'll mark that in the log. All Classics Restoration is 74 subs away from 1,000. If you haven't gone over and checked out All Classics Restoration's channel, you should do that. Let's see if we can make that happen tonight. We have exactly 74 people here right now, but I'm sure a good few of them are already subscribed. Give it a few minutes. We'll get some more people in here. But my sister did drop a link in the chat if you want to go do that. Daryl from Detroit. How's it going, Daryl? For obvious reasons, Lovejoy has not had any more time to mess with that carburetor. Yeah, understood. I'll tell you right now, Lovejoy, I took a few weeks off when my daughter was born, but I wish I'd taken more. Yeah. Take all the time you can. Nice. Huffy turns a wrench. Got my DDG swag the other day. Yay! Outstanding. And thanks again. Yeah, it's a relatively new head. I retired the last one. It is there. That is an all black one. I got all black to hide the grease better, but I really like the black and white. So I got 2 more black and white ones. Excuse me. Yeah, I've been wearing this one for a week. It's could be worse. Yeah. Robert Fitch. I assume this is SAW. 4-barrel Clifford intake and headers on a 64 Dart, slant 6. Everything else chromed, including the torsion hood springs at a local car show yesterday. Wow. Let's see if I still have it up. No, it's on the laptop. I got to get in the habit of bringing that thing in here with me. Someone sent me a link to a Fabo post, which was cool. I got a lot out of that. I found the original D-Dart cam specs I found there, and then a couple of the other performance cams that were used in 273s in the day. So that was great. But there was a guy in there sharing pictures of, hey, this is my D-Dart replica with all the Offenhauser parts, which is awesome. But then he also posted a picture of his Slant 6, and it was just the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. It had the finned offy valve cover. It had, of course, a 4-barrel manifold. Or wait, did it? No, maybe it... No, it had a factory manifold. But it had a chrome 273 air cleaner on it. Did it? It must have that had to have had a 4-barrel. I don't know. Anyway. Snoochie, Boochie, Oochies, or whatever. Nice. Brad's Restorations. A coyote killed my rooster about 4 months ago. We had 4. It was never intentional. We hatched a round of eggs and got 4 roosters out of that or something. Got rid of some of them. Kept 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, kept 2 out of that. Plus the rooster my wife got intentionally. And then one of our chickens went into the bushes and hatched like 16 eggs or something. And we gave away tons of those chicks, but ended up with 1 more rooster out of that. We finally got a thing from the city because there's a new code enforcement officer. And you're not supposed to have roosters, but... Anyway. So we tried to get rid of all of them, but that one escaped. He escaped the knife. So he's back, and no one said anything. So we still have a rooster. Wow. Richard Scott. At the drags on Saturday, got to see a 1 of 53 Hemi Super B, 73,000 original miles, kick a Mustang's butt. That was so cool. Nice. Yeah, I'm jealous. That was a classic Dude Mike with the Jay and Silent Bob reference. How's it going, Mike? Good evening, Ray Adkins. How you doing? A few more people hopping in now. Oh, yes. Lovejoy hit 500 subs just the other day and is officially registered for the No Name Nationals. If I can ever get that car running right. Larry Barker, how you doing? 69 Cornet 500 says that Studebaker would be neat with a first-gen Hemi. I think it would be neat with all 6 cylinders in the flathead running. Jaybird with a great question. Jamie, are you familiar with Dajiban? It's awesome. I am. It's not quite my thing. In case anyone is not familiar with Dajiban, I will show you what that is. So for some reason, in Japan, racing Dodge vans is a thing. And, like, they take it pretty seriously, and there are tons of them. Yeah. And they're lowered, and they're stanced, and they're, like, it's kind of amazing. And at least some of them are, like, serious race vans. Yeah. I want to find a picture of a whole one. This article is seriously letting me down. Oh, it's so cool. Hang on. Here you go. There's a shot at the pits. Or, yeah, shot in the pits at a Dajiban race. So cool. The Japanese are way more into those things than we are. There you go. Yeah, there's a... Oh, it's even murdered out. It's awesome. Anyway, classic Dajiban. And yes, I have to do that voice every time I say it. It's just genius. I love it. Don't look forward to me building one anytime soon, but I think it's awesome. Farley's Garage is here and says, I got the new cam in the... In the what? In, oop, wrong way. That thing? Oh, where am I? That thing. Jeff Militich, how you doing? Rocky Tom is here, right on time as usual. Dude, yeah, he tried uploading his video like 3 times today, and it just said no. I don't know what he's got going on, but mine uploaded quick today. Nice. Josh Jesh is here with his awesome stunt double twin brother. Nice. Oh, here we go. Farley's Garage. I got my new cam in my 440. Checked TDC on cylinder 1. I have fuel and spark. When I crank it, it just cranks. Sometimes it will attempt to fire when I stop cranking, and it will backfire. How are you checking for spark? Are you sure it's sparking when it cranks over? Yeah, I'm there. I'm good. Man. I'm at the bottom. Okay. When you stop cranking or when you turn the key off? Because you could have a distributor issue. But you say you have fuel and spark. Well, does it have spark constantly when the engine's cranking over? That would be my question. Or how did you check for spark? Follow up to that. Oh, I can't think at all right now. So you put a cam in. I'm assuming you probably installed it dot to dot. You probably didn't degree it or anything. You checked TDC 1, so you were sure you were on compression stroke and your rotor was pointed at the number 1 wire. Then your timing's got to be close. So is your distributor actually plugged in? You could have magically developed a distributor issue, I suppose, but it seems unlikely. You could also have you could have a sudden electrical issue. Excuse me. Yeah, I got to think about that one. All classics. In my youth, a good friend of mine had a 76 Dodge van that her brother originally built with a 427 Chevy in it. Wow. I'm full of burps right now. I apologize. Captain Kurt's Garage is here. What's up? Hank Reardon had a comment, but the words definitely got... Oh, tricked. Okay. Hank Reardon wants an early 70s B-van tricked out like it's 1978. They remind me of riding in them when I was a kid. Yeah, the van... Old school van scene things. That's pretty cool. Nice. Captain Kurt's Garage used to be a stunt tongue. Nice. No comment. All Classics Restoration is in need of adult conversation after spending 3 days with a 6 and 9-year-old. I had adults with me, but we were out on the water with 2 8-year-olds yesterday, and yeah, they're not so bad. Stephen Andrews has heard a supercharged Studebaker flathead straight 6. Sounded like a Jag. A Jag. I drive a Jag. I can't do it like Clarkson does it. Glenn Uromi made a video yesterday. Literally me kicking my carburetor down the driveway made me feel better. I bet it did. Smashing a 1920 with a big sledgehammer made me feel a lot better. I think I got that out of my system. Maybe. Robert Fitch. Adjusting slant 6 valve flash. Should be done hot. Yes. Is there a compensation for doing it cold? Yes. But I don't know what it is precisely. It's a hair bigger than the spec. Couple thou extras, probably sufficient. Also, some say only do it with the engine off. Some say do it with the engine running. I do it with them off because it makes such a horrible mess. Yeah. I do it with them off, and I think I usually do them cold too. I've never been concerned about that at all. Oh, wait a second. Isn't the spec for doing it cold? Because the whole point of having lash is to account for expansion of components, and that's the gap. I don't know. What do I know? Anyway, I do it with the engine off. For Chevrolets, I cut up a valve cover so I could adjust lash with them running, because you had to do that all the time. Because Chevrolets are dumb. But the more you know. For everything else, I just do it with them off. Al Sear is here and says, when you were talking about vans, my first thought was the Pathfinder 4x4 conversion. Always love those. Yeah, I think they're pretty cool. I saw an actual 4x4 converted, it was a Ford Econoline, but 4x4 converted motorhome recently, and it was pretty impressive, admittedly. Nice. Oh, nice. Lovejoy's got a video going up now. Hopefully someone watches it, decides they have to own it because I need the money. Good running small block Chevy, but I need cash more than a donor engine. Farley's garage, turn the key off. Check for a spark. Yeah, when you turn the key off, that's your test spark from the box, but did it spark when the engine cranked? Yes, Josh, we did make it out to the water. It was awesome. Should have stayed out there. They say he's still boating to this day. I am ready to sell all my cars and just hang out on a boat. I'm ready. At least until summer ends. Mostly Mopar finally made it. How's it going? What is up? 38 POS Racing as well. How you doing? Oh. Classic Dude Mike. I'm sure old school Hillborn mechanical injection would be a pain in the butt. However, wouldn't it be awesome to see 8 stacks poking out of the hood of the garbage can CUDA? Yes, it would. And I'm going to build a setup like that, but not mechanical injection. My genius plan someday is to build a stack setup with EFI because it's just so much easier. It makes so much more sense. If it only sparks when you let off of the key, then the resistor is good. And there is no cranking voltage, the brown wire, ignition 2. But different deal. I don't think he was saying let's go of the key, but when he turns the key off, I think. That's my understanding anyway. Yeah, someday, I've been dreaming about this for a long, long time. I've given it a lot of thought. Someday, I am going to build an 8-stack setup for a small block Mopar, but it'll use EFI. I don't know when. Jimmy Luce. You ever get a spider bite working on all those cars that sat for years? Not yet. Don't put that witchcraft on me. 38 POS Racing would say the ignition is not getting power while cranking, and yes, that is possible. It's possible. But remember, yeah, that's what I was just saying with cranking power, ignition 2 power. Yeah, so ignition 2 power might be missing, but that's why I was asking, because he said I have fuel and spark. So I was asking what the methodology for testing for spark was. If he just did the key off method, that tests the ignition module, right? If it sparks at one time, your module's good. But if it's not sparking when it cranks, that is most likely a bad distributor. Or he just changed the cam in a big block, so the distributor had to come out. So I was asking if the distributor got plugged back in. I've never done that. Not once, not never. Helping hand slant 6 valve adjust done hot. Yes, I'm sure that's what the factory service manual says. Although I did cast doubt upon that a minute ago. Don't worry about any of that. Ignore that. Yeah. 392 DTNA. Question about modern Hemi MDS. Does this cause uneven wear on internals? Should it be deactivated? Can it be deactivated? Yeah. Basically, yeah, all that. Probably. But I don't know. I can't tell you how much of an issue it really is. And as far as how to deactivate it, Tuner can do that. Yeah, in fact, man, I read up on this before, but it has been a while. I usually don't need to know about this kind of stuff. So that's the good news. Yeah. I mean, there are ways to deactivate it that will create that will cause a check engine light. I believe you could have a tuner tune it out. But yeah. Excuse me, still full of burps. Ben Braddock is here. Hola, how's it going? Como, what up? Answer 14 is here and said, good evening from beautiful and mostly flat Northwest Ohio. That Studebaker sure was gripping the deck of the ramp truck. Any further progress on those stoppers? Not at all. Nope. The end of the video is where I ended. That was Friday, midnight Friday. So I guess the beginning of Saturday. And then yesterday was boat stuff. So yeah. Okay, Farley's Garage has spark on all cylinders that are sparking when cranking. Advance your distributor a ton. Just. And when you say you hardwired the ignition, what do you mean? You mean you hotwired it, like ran to the coil positive? Because that doesn't necessarily power up your electronic module, assuming you have electronic ignition. Classic Dude Mike, I'm not really a surf guy. I like Dick Dale, but I'm not really a surf guy, no. Stephen Andrews says, as we speak, there's a 77 Dodge Pathfinder 4x4 ambulance on the list of Craig in Sultan, Washington. Neat. John Kelly is here and says, Tara Lynn and I made it to hear from you. Well, how's it going? You're hearing from me now. Spitfire Mike, easy to convert dual pickup distributor over to single pickup. 85 Ram Charger, 364 barrel. Well, yeah, you take the dual out and you put the single in, but you also need to delete the lean burn module, which is what that dual pickup distributor is running. And then you probably need a carburetor that doesn't have all the stupid electronic fuel controls on it. So it's a bit of a job. The distributor part is the easy part. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I was wondering that myself. Dalton Sparks, on that Studebaker with the clutch starter button, would that end up being a pain, or is it easy enough not to bump it? You actually have to fully bury the clutch pedal and then push it a little bit more to get the starter to go. So I was thinking about this like this morning or last night laying in bed or something. I was like, buttons, or maybe while I was editing, the button's on the clutch pedal, so you could probably just hit the starter on accident. But no, you really have to, like, you go all the way down on the clutch and then push even harder. There may be some kind of rubber bumper at play or something. I don't know, but I don't think it would be an issue. Yeah. Glenn Uromi is apparently following me on Instagram. I need a few more people to follow me on Instagram because for some reason, I don't even have 1,000 followers there. I have 10,000 followers on Facebook, which is weird. All I post on Facebook is video links, but I have 10,000 followers there. But on Instagram, I don't even have 1,000. And I post there all the time. Anyway, yes, there is a video coming on that black Dodge W100 or 150. I don't remember what year it is. It's getting a timing chain and gears and probably some other stuff while it's here. Water pump was bad anyway, so yeah. Yes. Captain Kurt's Garage. How do you feel about the 408 Strucker engines available now? I feel that's great. And if you want to spend a bunch of money on one, go right ahead. It is cool that you can just order one on a crate. Now, I have zero experience with them, but everybody else loves them. I'm putting a Magnum-based 408 in a 74 Dart Sport. That project is in progress. Slow progress, but it's in progress. It looks good, but we'll see. I don't actually know. Mm-hmm. Answer 14. In your opinion, is there any application where points are better than electronic ignition? Meaning from a purely reliability and performance perspective, not correct restoration. Yeah, just about all the Mopar ignition boxes you can buy in stores are absolute garbage now. MSD costs $1,000 or whatever. HEI modules, which were my usual electronic go-to, also suck. So points, cheap points also suck. But if you get good ones, they're not so bad. And the Eklund brand from Napa are the most goodest out there that I'm aware of. Yeah, I put points in my 68 Charger, and I'm super happy with that. And the funny thing is, I just kind of eyeballed the gap on them when I put them in, and I had some high RPM weirdness. It's just because I had the dwell they were too far open, so I had too much dwell. Too little dwell. Dwell is the amount of time it's closed. Whatever, the gap was too big. So when I did that other video with the Charger a couple weeks ago, I fixed that, and now it runs perfect again. I took off an MSD ignition system, and I put points in it, and now that I have them dialed, it's like, there's no difference at all. Yeah, I like the points for that reason. It's one wire, super simple, easy to fix, carry spare points, and a flathead screwdriver, and you're good to go anywhere. So, and a condenser, carry a condenser. Yeah, modern parts suck. Mopar Pollock is here and says, I think that's Iola. Yeah. Swap meet was great. 4,000 swap spots bought from 3 Mopar vendors. Might have to go to the Mopar Nationals for parts. Neat. Wow. Ben Braddock. Lost my 392 because of Hemi MDS. 5 weeks out of warranty. Less than 50,000 miles. Yeah, replace lifters with Hellcat lifters and oil pump. It's a direct bolt-in. Remove the MDS solenoid. Isn't it? They're individual solenoids, right? Aren't there 4 of them? Isn't there one for each set of lifters? I think so. Yeah, the plugs. And use the tuner to deactivate the trouble light. There you go. Yep. Do the delete. Yeah, I was going to mention the different lifters. I think if all your lifters are still good, you could just delete, whatever. Remove the MDS solenoids or just unplug them or whatever and tune it out, and they would be fine. But yeah, the MDS lifters are special. And those are the issue. Or one of them. I guess there are multiple issues with those Hemis, but yeah, the MDS lifters are so stupid. We did a set, and one of them failed in 2 months. Then we warrantied them out. I think they were good after that, but all I know is that at that time, it was super... Yeah, we've seen it, Josh. We've seen it. No one ever, listen to me, no one needs to send me links to goddamn anything that's for sale. Don't do it. I don't need you to do it. This is everyone. I'm talking to the whole world right now. Because 20 people do this all the time, and I hate it. I know what's for sale. I don't want to know at all, but I already do. I don't need that kind of help. I think I got derailed on the Hemi thing. Yeah, I think yeah. A few years ago, there was a huge shortage on the MDS lifters from Chrysler, from everybody else, because they were failing that often. It was awesome. Hopefully they figured that out by now, but I don't know that they have. Yeah. Yeah, Lovejoy has a strong urge to use his rifle, I assume is what that's supposed to say, to add some speed holes to the old carb from the 5th Ave. Captain Kurt's Garage. Do you watch Scott's Speed Shop? I am familiar with Scott's Speed Shop, but I do not watch it frequently, no. I've checked in on him a few times. I follow too many channels already. I don't have time to even do that. Yeah, Lovejoy Mint Rifle. Yep. Nice. Classic Dude Mike sent a link to my Facebook Messenger. I have not been in that I'm not checking them very often. It's a problem. It doesn't have lean burn. Then why would it have a dual pickup distributor? the dual pickup distributor was for the lean burn system. Dual pickup distributor, no advance curve in it, no vacuum advance. Those are for lean burn. But you've got an 80s rig, so it would be, I think they're a firewall mounted module by then. I don't know enough about that. But if you've got a dual pickup, that should be lean burn. What does that even mean? What are we talking about? What alerts? I'm so confused. Yeah, dead Studebaker garage. You got it. I used to do that all the time. Dead boat garage, dead Ford garage, dead Plymouth garage. Wasn't thinking about it. It's a big missed opportunity. Dr. Art's Hot Rod Rehab is here. What's up, Dr. Art? Dr. Art wants to know, do any of your XJs have the JTech computers? I think they both do. I've got a 2000 and a... Is it a 96? It's the older body. It has the distributor still, and it has vent windows. But I think it's like a 96, so that should be a JTech. Will C is here and says, hi there. I like the Stude content. Thanks, Will. Appreciate that. Good evening, Bill Johnson. How's it going? The Cornet is back in the land of the living. No more hover dodge. Nice. Congratulations and nice work. Excuse me. 120 of you out there. If you haven't hit like on the stream, please do that. That number seems a little low. There must be something going on in the world right now that's not here. But it's all good. There are plenty of comments. I'm behind already. But if you do have any Mopar questions, feel free to ask them. Thank you. Richard Scott loved the surprise glow-in-the-dark gauges on that Studebaker. And a good few people pointed out that it's probably faced with that radioactive stuff that they used to use for glass, and they would paint clock faces and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Just a little radioactive. What's a little radioactivity among friends? Hey, my sister dropped in the comments a link to our friend All Classics Restoration's channel. He is almost at 1,000 subscribers, and so if you have not subscribed to him, you should hop over and do that. And I'm sure he thanks you. Jaybird, ever see any sets of Stan's headers in the wild for a small block Mopar, specifically a Poly? No, I'm not familiar with Stan. I'm familiar with Doug, but I'm not familiar with Stan. Yeah, Poly headers, that's like hen's teeth or whatever. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Outlaw Andy with a good point. Cheapest way to do the MDS delete is just put it in sport mode, because then it doesn't, pop into eco. But it gets old doing it that way. Dude, my 2018 Challenger, which looks something like that, but more red-ish, and also has a V6, don't worry about that. Oh, sick. Dr. Art, I don't really need any of my Jeeps to be fast. But I will keep that in. I will need your services at some point. I've got some ideas. Anyway. Yeah, putting it in sport mode every time gets old. I'll tell you what else gets old. My 2018 Challenger. Not every time, but damn near every time I start the car, the stereo resets from Bluetooth USB to radio. It's not every time, but it's like 70-80% of the time. And it infuriates me to no end. I hate the radio. I hate it. There should be a way to make the radio not work anymore. It's so stupid, and I don't know why it does that. It's a well-known bug. Last I checked, I have the latest stereo update. Anyway. Other than that, I still love that car. That stupid stereo glitch is the only thing. The only thing. Farley's Garage. This is a 440 with ProFlow 4 EFI. Wow. Took the ignition wire for the EFI, went right to 12 volt power, ran fine when pulled apart. Huh. So you You checked for TDC1 by checking for compression, right? You actually checked to make sure you were on the compression stroke. That's what you did when you lined up your distributor. And not just line it up TDC. Did you know that dot to dot on your timing gears is 180 degrees out distributor? TDC1 is both dots. Dang it. This is hard to do backwards. Both dots up. This is 180 out. This is correct. That's TDC1. But you said you checked. So did you do that with compression or by watching the intake valve, or did you just line up the dots? Putting a carb back on is not going to help if starter fluid or gas didn't help. Your issue is something else. It's spark. You said you have spark, but there's something going on. Yeah. Dead skunk garage. I hope not. Ugh. Keep hoping one of them random neighborhood cats is going to end up stuck in there. Did I say hoping? I keep worrying that one of those random neighborhood cats is going to end up stuck in there. Captain Kurt's Garage. Have you ever ordered anything from Dr. Diff? Yes, good few times. Dr. Diff's great. Pretty sure, yeah, I think we got a bunch of stuff from them for the Dart Sport. Yeah, radium. Not bad from that far away, but probably don't strap it to your wrist. And definitely don't lick it. Yeah. Answer 14. What is the benefit of the COP 318 heads? I think they were called swirl port. Well, the later 80s 318 heads are the 302 casting number. Yeah, swirl port, closed chamber. So they raise the compression a bit. And if you had open chambers before. And the ports are supposed to be decent, but they are pretty restrictive. I mean, they're a good street engine deal. They're not amazing for making a bunch of horsepower. So, yeah, they require quite a bit of massaging to make horsepower. If you want to just up the compression a little bit and you're going for like a mileage street build, great deal. Those are the swirl port ones you're talking. Swirl port, that's the later stuff. You might also be thinking of the earlier COP 318 heads, which are just 360 heads. Bill Johnson says Stan's Headers was a local place up in Auburn. They did all kinds of oddball headers. No longer in business. Wow. Yeah, Chris Freemesser says the head unit in my Dodge always did that. My 2014 Ram did not have that problem. Friggin' maddening. Do you fully turn off the radio before you shut off the car? No. Think that would help? I mean, I think the main issue... So when I used Bluetooth, the iPhone's stupid. For some reason, they changed the way the Bluetooth connects, and I had that same problem in several other vehicles with Bluetooth, where there's just a delay. It takes long, so the stereo gets confused, and it goes, no, we don't have Bluetooth, and then it switches back to the radio. So then I started using the USB connection, and even if I remember to plug it in first, sometimes it still does it. Anyway. No, I've never tried turning off the radio, but you can't fully turn off the radio. Fully. I mean, you can hit the power button, which turns off the screen, but the damn thing is still on. Classic Dude Mike. Was the Super B a B body, and why they called it a Super B? It was a Super B, and that might be related, maybe? I don't know. Been a while since I've read up on that. Diane K. 58 Plymouth with 350 engine, 2 4s. Huh. What? 58 Plymouth would have dual 4s. Is that a Fury? Maybe it's a Fury. Anyway, that's cool. Cypher F, what up? We're going to be putting dual 4s on a 57 Plymouth with an A engine. It's going to be awesome. No, Rob, I never got a Fudgy the Whale, but it's okay. I did get a Fudgy the Whale t-shirt. And I got a horribly melted ice cream cake at the racetrack. Robert Fitch strapped radium to his wrist back in the 70s, and he's mostly okay now. Yeah, internal contamination is a bad time. Wow, Bill Johnson works with reactors. We avoid that. I'm sure you do. Yes. Yes, I always leave the USB cord plugged in. Yes. My 16 RAM does a similar thing when I would leave mine plugged in. So unplugging it, because as soon as I unplug the damn thing, it switches to the friggin' radio too. And I know that because I damaged the cord in the car, so now it keeps wiggling loose, and then it switches back to the radio. I just hate it so much. Oh, Diane K, 58 Plymouth had a dual point distributor. Yeah, I'm sure it did. Autolite made, yep. Oh, good night, Richard Scott. Thanks for hanging out. Take it easy. Oh, nice. Ben Braddock. Yeah, it was a bit older video. Well, that was only like 2 months ago. Something like that. Anyway, yeah, Tom did a video on those AMK bolt kits. Absolute lifesaver for putting a project back together. Yes, it is. Very cool. It's a good deal. Okay. Farley's Garage did not check compression, just checked with the dot to dot. Yeah, so as mentioned, dot to dot is 180 degrees out. So if you lined up your distributor with your timing gears dot to dot. Oh, an inspection can. Yeah, your timing's 180 out. Pull your distributor up, flip the rotor 180, pop it back down, and hit the key. Dot to dot on your, if you are installing a cam or a timing set, and you put the gears dot to dot, the alignment dots, which you need to do to line it up, that is not top dead center 1. That is 180 degrees away from top dead center 1. You need to rotate the crank 1 turn and get the cam gear dot pointed up, same as the crank gear. And that is TDC 1. And why the hell they did that, I don't know. Just ridiculous. But yeah, dot to dot's 180 out, brother. Flip your distributor around and that sucker will fire right up. Josh Homan is here and says, good to be here. Uncle Tony is ending early, so prepare for the Raiders. Yeah, Tony, his back's all messed up. He was not looking happy. I dropped into his live very briefly before coming on, and yeah, I don't think he's having a good day, so. Ray, Jamie, question. Will a Bluetooth radio affect the ECM? No. Dalton Sparks, for an 80s 360 that is stock, what do you think the best exhaust setup would be? I have all the room for almost anything. Well, long tube headers are always the best, basically. Magnum manifolds are a good choice. They fit well, and they're cheap enough, and they're not headers. Long tube headers are great for power, but they suck for the street in cars anyway, and they always leak, so that sucks. Yeah. So headers are the best for the ponies. Long tube headers, don't bother with short. That's a waste of money. But if you are just stock and you want something a little bit better than factory, Magnum exhaust manifolds. 90s Magnum exhaust manifolds. LDMDIDJDJD is back and says, any tricks to changing the tailstock from a 727 4x4 to a rear-wheel drive? Yes, I know the trick you need. Buy a two-wheel drive transmission. It's not worth it, dude. You got to gut the entire transmission. You need a different output shaft, and you need the tail housing. You don't want that. Unless you know transmissions really well, or you're willing to learn and pay very, very close attention to what you're doing, don't do it. Find a rear-wheel drive tranny. Tom says, maybe this week on the dual quads. All right. 38 PS Racing says I could fix my stupid Challenger stereo like I fixed the Holly 1920. Unfortunately, the stereo in the Challenger also controls the climate control, and it has other apps, not that I use any of them. Car settings are adjusted in that thing. You kind of need that. Mm-hmm. Bill Johnson. Jamie, if I'm putting a limited slip in my 8 1/4 but reusing the old ring and pinion, all I should have to set is the carrier bearing for depth, pinion to ring. Sorry, the order you put those words in, for some reason, I went to outer space briefly. All you need to do is swap your gear onto the new carrier, new bearings on the new carrier, pop the carrier in, and just set the side to side. What you're checking is, yes, the depth, but the way you check it is the free play, the clunk in the pinion. So, yeah. That's how you do that. 8 1/4s are pretty sloppy, too. The spec is... Sorry, I said the play in the pinion, but what you're checking is the play between the two gears, and the way to do that is with a mag base micrometer, you know what I'm talking about, measuring device. And there's a spec, and it tells you how much the ring gear should move before it contacts the pinion teeth, how much free play you should have. And in 8 1/4s and other Chrysler axles, although the 8 3/4 is not this way, 8 1/4, 9 1/4, they're sloppy. The spec is like 18, 20 thou or something, and most are around 10. And so there's actually a distinct clunk in the 8 1/4 when you get it set up right. I don't know why they did that, but they did. It's what they wanted. Yeah, see, that is the other problem. If I could set the radio to mute, then I wouldn't care if it's set back. But when I have my USB volume at 25 and then it turns on the radio, which, as I believe I mentioned, I hate. Yeah, it sucks. Good to know that Cadillac also has this problem. That does give me the warm and fuzzies. Mexican spec, what is happening? Robert Fitch, was there a Dodge RT? Saw one at a local car show. Looked like a Cornet, but the only badges said RT. Well, he just didn't have Cornet badges on it. No, there's no separate RT model. It is a Cornet RT. Yeah, they left the badges off. Dada LeBreton is back. How you doing? What is up? Never settle for Fudgy the Whale. Hold out for Cookie Puss. Nice. Rob Frankowiak. My 76 Plymouth project has a 1973 18. Is it during the time for lead additive? How important is lead additive? Should I be worried? I have never, ever, not once, ever, had a sinking valve issue in an LA engine, or a B engine for that matter, from the time in which that is supposedly possible, because they were not necessarily using hardened seats or hard enough seats. I have never had that happen. Now, I've had valves sink on a slant 6, except it was from the time when they had the hardened seats. So, yeah. I do not run lead additive. I have never... Sorry, I'm playing with a flashlight. I don't know if you can see that. I have never run lead additive ever in my life in anything. And I have had many classics and engines that hailed from before that time, 1972 or whatever it was. It has never been a problem for me on a Mopar ever, at least on a Mopar V8. So forget about it and just drive your car. And if it ever becomes an issue, deal with it then. But I bet you it won't. All Classics Restoration. Would factory HP manifolds on a big block be better for torque? They would be better for ultimate horsepower production, but frankly, the difference is not even all that great. They're better. They are better, but you're probably talking 5 to 8 numbers, maybe. I don't know. I've never actually seen an A/B test, but it's not like, hell, the factory spec between a standard engine and an HP engine, the difference was not that much. And the manifolds were not the only piece of that. So they're better for horsepower, but seat of the pants, you are not going to notice the difference probably. Yeah. On the 57 Belvedere convertible that I did the video on about a month ago now, do we put the front end back together first, or do we do the dual quads? Well, we need to do a 4-speed as well, so don't forget that. We kind of need to do that first. Awesome. Yep, you bet, Bill. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that, LeBreton. The 4x4 transmission gut swap is not worth the cost and labor unless you're stuck in the desert and need to get home. Yeah, two-wheel drive 727s and 904s are still out there. You can just go get one. They might be harder to find these days, but they're still out there. Yeah. Coyote James. Suggestions for 340 build direction on a stock 73 340. Stroke. Find a forged crank, aluminum Edelbrock heads, or RMS cast iron. Something with 202s. What about rockers? I don't know. Okay, here are my thoughts. I built a 73 340 once. We used flat top pistons, 360 open chamber heads, which were too small for the 340 bore for some reason. Mild cam. I built a mild street engine because I thought that's what the guy wanted. And it made, on a chassis dyno to the ground, it made 290? Oh, I don't remember, but it was on a chassis dyno. So, of course, you've got drivetrain losses. And so they had done the calculation and they figured it was really, really close to 1-to-1, about 340 horsepower crank. The forged crank was still in it. Or, sorry, the cast crank. Sorry, I read what you typed. The cast crank was still in it. It was fine. Cast cranks are plenty tough unless you're going to make 500 horsepower. So you need to decide what kind of party you want to have. Because you just listed a bunch of performance parts that I wouldn't ever buy ever, not once. I wouldn't do that. I built essentially kind of sort of what you might want to do with the 360. And all it is, this is the engine that's in my Demon. So if you've seen my Demon drag racing videos, you know that car almost does wheelies and runs in the low 8s, and it should be capable of the upper 7s. That is a pretty decent 360. It's not bad. It's probably around that same horsepower per cube range. It's certainly not 500 horsepower. It is doing that with a stock crank with no problem. It is doing that with stock iron heads with very mild porting. Like, holy crap, we barely did anything. We did a port gasket match, and we did a mild cleanup. We put a 3-angle valve job in it, matching springs for the ridiculous cam, and blocked the heat crossover. That is all we did. And put in a stupid thumper cam that's too big. Excuse me, set of crane roller rockers, and I don't know if they're 1.6s. They might be, but I don't think so. I think they're 1.5s. It does not have 202 valves. It has the 192 valves. And it's awesome. It is great. If I were you, I would work over your stock heads. I would get a set of decent pistons that will raise the compression. I would leave the crank alone. I would keep your stock heads. I would leave the valve size alone. I would get a decent cam, raise the compression a bit, get a good intake and carb on there, and a set of headers. And that thing is going to be awesome. And you're not going to spend $2,000 on Edelbrock heads. And you're not going to spend $1,500 on a stroker kit. Unless you're trying to be the fastest kid in the schoolyard. And then spend as much money as you want. But you don't need to do all that to have a good time. I have proven that many times, and I'll do it again. So hopefully that advice helps. My instinct is never to just start dumping money on performance parts. Ever. It's just, you could do so much more with, you can do so much more than you might think with your original parts. And also, the short stroke is part of what makes the 340 great. So that might be something to think about too. Joel Shooter is here. How's it going? Oh, Joel just got power back due to a desert storm. Wow. Dial indicator. Yeah, that's what I meant. Mike Holst, are you planning a trip to Sunbust in Graham, August 18th? Honestly, I hadn't thought about it. Hadn't thought about it at all. I don't know if I'm going to make it. But maybe. But probably not. I'm not a car show guy. I really don't. And I think I'm planning to go down to Woodburn and run the Demon. I think that would be really cool. Not that it would be competitive or anything, but it would be cool. But I don't know. Just don't know. Scott Sullivan, is the slop due to operating temperature differences? What slop? We're talking about valve lash? Classic Dude Mike, are you a freshwater or salt boat guy? I've done both in the last 2 weeks. I had it in the river here, the brackish part of the river, and I was out in the harbor, and then came back in, had it in the water there for a week, got it out of the water, washed it off, and took it out to the lake, freshwater lake. And I'm going to put it back in the harbor sometime. I don't know. Got to take my mom out for a trip. Yeah, Jeff Militich, unleaded gas was at the pump starting in 1975. But the hardened seats came sooner than that. And I want to say it's 72, 73-ish. I thought it was 72. That number sticks in my head. But I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. I think they knew that was coming. That was my understanding. Old Stuff Rules wants to know, what do you think of a 2001 360 Magnum for my 65 Barracuda? I think it's a great choice. I think you can make 400 horses with that engine really easily if you convert to a carburetor, manage to shoehorn a set of headers in there somehow, change the cam, springs. They could do really impressive stuff. We did a lot less than that in that 64 Dart I did a video on last week. It is a 360 Magnum. It is a 98 engine, but it doesn't matter. Stock heads. We did a very, when I say the port job on the 360 and the Demon was mild, the port job on that Magnum was like barely anything. Just a quick little clean up. And put the matching springs in for the Hughes cam. We got the Hughes cam and an air gap cheapy Chinese intake. And that thing is, it's good. It's fun. It's not, I remember it being more impressive than it is because I've driven the Demon since we built it. But it's fun. It does quite a bit. It does impressive muscle car stuff. So yeah, it's a great engine to start with. But again, the point of that story was his is through factory iron manifolds, which is a serious limiting factor. So yeah. Ooh, Vic sent me a shirt. What am I looking at? Oh. Nice. Stone Soup North American Tour 2024. And it's got all the channel names on it. It's awesome. I'm right up at the top. Heaven's Mopars. And his name's on the front. Oh, this must be a custom one-off for Scott because it's got Scott's name on it. Ignore the wet spot. I think it's cool. I love it. U.S. Tour. So cool. Avon is on time as always. What's up, Avon? Data LeBreton says sinking valves only happen over 7,000 RPM. Well, that's interesting, and it does kind of make sense. Joel Shooter remembers crushing a lifter in a 383 67 Newport. I had a 361 big block in my 66 Charger, and it always ticked. Always. John Kelly wants to know, would you ever consider doing a race car with an automatic? Sure, yeah, I've considered it. It's not the kind of thing I want to do right now. It's not really the kind of thing I have much interest in. My 69 Charger, if I even build it... 69 Charger. Did I say 69 Charger? I think I did. I was looking at a 66 Charger when I said it, though. Yeah. Got a 68, too. I like that one. That dark blue. Anyway, my 69 is going to be a 440 and an automatic, and I may take that to a drag strip. That might be fun. I have no intentions of putting a 4-speed in that car. So if I did race it, it would be an automatic. Having said that, my dedicated drag project, the Garbage Can Cuda, is a 4-speed. That's what I want to do. I will never put an automatic in that car. But, you know, someday I might actually want to go fast. And so, yeah, I would consider it. Barracuda used to put 2-stroke oil in the fuel to protect the valve seats. Don't know if it did any good. I doubt it, but I don't know. All right, Seth Doss is here. It says, good day, all. The wife and I are 10 weeks pregnant. Well, I don't know what part you're playing, but good on you. We know it's a girl, and we're going with Hazel for the first name. Trying to weasel in a Mopar or Vintage Auto middle name. Any suggestions? Plymouth already got vetoed. Don't ask me to name your children. I got nothing. Cody Hollinger is just in from the shop. How's it going? Okay, James. Honestly, I've had it in a Challenger for 14 years. That was that Cast Crank 340. Want something with some reliability and a little bit of power. I mean, it should have been that stock. Not much power, but a little bit. Yeah, the late 340s aren't amazing or anything, but yeah. Anyway, that is my take on things. There are other ways to do it, but yeah. I got a really, really good lesson out of the 360 that's in the Demon. I realized, because I've said this many, many times, I never built fast engines. I always built street engines. That's the rowdiest engine I've ever built intentionally, and it is. Maybe not enough, but it's pretty good. And it's got iron heads, and the 340 I took out with the aluminum heads, not as good. And the 360 I had before with aluminum heads, and all other things were pretty similar. This does more than that. And I learned aluminum's lighter, but it doesn't magically make more power. Good ported factory 360 heads can do very, very well for you. And same, your 340 heads. You know. All classics restorations. I have access to a 71 440 that has all the machine work done. It's 60,000 over. Should I be concerned about it running hot? No. Plan on building a torque engine for towing. Cool. No, I wouldn't be worried about that at all. Good evening, Paul Steinberg. How you doing? Mark Salve, what is up? Or Salve, perhaps. We got to test on that new axle a little bit. Well, I did. It ran 830. What do you want? Oh, yeah. The slop in the Chrysler axles. Now, yeah, many of the ones you will see by this time in history are sloppier than they are supposed to be. But even when they were fresh, yeah, there's a good bit of pinion slop in them. There is more than the average Ford axle. Rooster is here, and he has a great comment. I can't begin to tell you how many guys go to Summit, buy a pile of parts, bring them to me, and say, build this. When you say no, they get pissed and say, why not? Because none of that will work together. Do your Mr. Negative Guy voice. I got nothing. Yeah, it's all about the combination. And the other thing is, just the potential of the factory pieces. Like, they were not built to their power potential. They were built to live. So, tweak a few things here and there. Blueprint the engine. Work the head over a bit. Select the right components. And it's really, really, really important to have a goal in mind and know how to get there and know what parts work together. Excuse me. We can't just start buying stuff. Doesn't work that way. Al's here. Do you have any opinion on the 6.4 Power Wagon needing to use 040 Pennzoil full synthetic? I see so many comments about using other brands and weights. I'm just stuck. I don't know. Whatever they say it's supposed to use, I would use that. That's the way I'd go. Multiple people said Christine, or my sister did. Oh, someone else said Cranbrook. Yeah, that one's kind of stodgy. Tempest. Dakota, that's a good one. Dakota's a good one. Robert Fitch had that. Chris Freemaster said Fury. I like that too. Yeah. Mark Salve says some old school guys used to put it in a quart of ATF in the oil at oil change. Yeah, it's supposed to clear crap out. My sister also said Nova. Nice. Rooster says two-stroke oil will protect valve seats, but it's expensive. Lead additive is the way to go. I just got done telling the class that I'd never, ever once used lead additive ever, and I never will. Willie the Wave. What's the hip-hop happening? Not much going on over here. Although just a minute ago, my neck started hurting again, which is terrible. It's probably my terrible posture. Oh, Seth Doss actually suggested Nova. That one did not get anything thrown at me. I'm going to move this more into frame so I can sit less dumb. Or here. Here we go. Hang on. Hang on. How's that? Oh, now it's going to fall on me. Nice. All right. Chris Freemaster heartily supports any baby name with Chris in it. Uh-huh. Dang, I'm good. Farley's Garage flipped his distributor 180, and it started right up. Running it now to break in the cam. Everything is sounding great. Nice! So there again, if you're ever going to change your cam, your gears, your timing gears and chain, change your cam, rebuild your engine, any of those operations where you got to reset the timing, dot to dot is not TDC. Farley's Garage just learned this. And it's been years since I learned that. But yes, I learned the hard way. I think twice. Dot to dot is 180 out. Both dots up on your timing gears is TDC 1. So set your distributor there. Get your dots lined up and then turn the crank 1 revolution. Make sure the cam gear dot is up. I might have made that mistake 3 times. Yeah, might have. I can't remember specifically, but I feel like it's been an ongoing issue over the years. I'm good on it now, obviously. But yeah. Wow. Oh man, Rob Frankowiak has a 65 poly engine packed away, all parted out. Bad news: it was stored outside at previous owner's house. Water got in it, rust in the bores. 50-50 chance block could be bad. Yeah, I bet it's savable. Oh, it's Sauve. Okay. Mark Sauve. Yeah. I've been drag racing since 1987, and I'm still running Ironheads. Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, so, yeah, that. Exactly. So that's the thing. So you need, essentially, with the aluminum heads, you need to run higher compression. It's not that you can. You kind of need to. Yeah. Yeah, they're super good for resisting pre-ignition. Super, super good for that. Learned that firsthand. Yeah. They're good for that. And, you know, out of the box, they may well have a better port. Better springs come on them. I mean, they may be set up for what you want to do. You don't want to just bolt them on. You want to always have them checked because, yeah, you need to have them checked. Well, that just looks silly. Ugh. Anyway. Whee! Oh, that didn't work. Incredible. There are positives to aluminum heads, but I'm sticking with iron. Dada LeBreton says, the Russian Engineers Channel, who does all kinds of car tests... I'm trying to make myself less uncomfortable. I don't know if it's going to work, but I'm trying. Ruin my neck for some reason. Did a test trying all kinds of fuel additives to check performance difference. 2-stroke oil raised the compression from around 120 to 150 psi. By running it in the fuel? Call her Polly, Wedge, or Hemi. Burnout Garage. Hey, do you like those Carter electric pumps? I don't know. Do I? They're fine, I guess. Yeah, if you've got to run an electric pump, that's a good one. Instead of the cheapo clicky clacky thing. Paul Shea. I thought I'd already seen your name today. Maybe that was a different Paul. Anyway, how's it going? Classic Dude Mike. Song pick of the week is Nice Things by Hayes Carroll. The list is getting longer, and I don't want to offend anybody, but I wrote them all down, everything that's been suggested. I don't know that I'm going to actually learn any of them. Although you did offer me money for one of them. I haven't found time in my busy schedule to listen to these. And it has occurred to me that my taste in music is so weird, so specific. The stuff that I like is so specific. Oh, Chris Freemaster says I have sympathy pains to go along with Tony's back. Maybe. I told him about my neck thing because all right, I did a silly thing. I put a car trailer behind my XJ and I sent him a picture. And he said, friggin' copycat. And then he said, put some air shocks on that bad boy. What was it? Something else. Something, air shocks, and then get ready to enjoy swerving all over the highway, or twitchy high-speed handling, or something like that. And I said, I'm not actually doing this. I'm just using it around the yard. I can hear horrible creaking, cracking noises coming from the hitch. And he said, that's what I sound like every time I get up. And I just seen him, on video talking about his shoulder thing, and I was like, oh, and his story about how it just happened, like reaching for something under the couch or something. And I was like, almost the same thing happened to me with my neck. I wasn't doing anything. I was on a job site, but I wasn't doing anything. I was standing on a pile of cribbing and looking up, and all of a sudden I had like a twinge in my neck, and it like made me go like this, and oh man, it hurt for days, and I couldn't really turn my head. And then it went away. But it's been coming back occasionally forever. And it's been pretty much constantly present for the last couple months. Yeah, no, he looked really not like he was having a good time today. Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. A Russian engineer tried 2-stroke oil, acetone to raise octane, terabenzene, octane booster, etc. At the end, he poured the whole octane booster can in the 1-gallon tank and got the worst 0 to 60 results. Love it. Yeah. Well, yeah, get your dots lined up, but then turn it 180 degrees. 180 degrees. Good times. Brad, Jaybird would come to say hi if I go to Woodburn. Bring you a frosty adult beverage of your choice. If I do that, I believe it's on a Sunday, so I would miss this live stream most likely. That could be an issue. I guess I could get a hotel down there or something. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I'll keep it in mind. If I'm going to go, I'll make some kind of announcement. Excuse me. I am considering it. I would like to do it. I'm not promising to it. I have been planning on it. The tab is open in my thing. I haven't bought a ticket yet or whatever, but yeah. Ryan with McLovin Garage just sent me a bunch of pictures for some reason. Oh, it's so hideous. I assume he's here, so hopefully he'll hear me say that. He got wheels for Llama Barn. Now, these are only for racing purposes, okay? His permanent look is Steelies and dog dishes, which is great. It's perfect. It's the spirit of the car. But he got 17-inch wheels because he's going to be doing autocross with this car. So he needed a bit bigger wheel, bit smaller tire. And so he sent me a picture of the wheels on a different A-body Mopar yesterday. And I said, anyway, here they are. I mean, it's fine. But that ain't it for me. But he knows that. Again, not the actual look he wants for the car, only for racing purposes. Diecast Dream Vic is beat and sacking out. Be safe and have a glorious week. I will try. Oh, yeah, they have a live stream every Monday, but I'm, like, working when it happens. And tomorrow especially, like, I'm pretty sure right at your live stream time, I've got a mail truck. Anyway. Yeah, Roger Beard. I'm noticing some discussion about the use of stock parts. There used to be this grumpy guy from Pennsylvania that ran Chevy and always said you'd be surprised how far you could push stock parts. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That is what I am saying. Rob wanted to know, just wondering, without spending money at a machine shop, can I make a judgment call myself on the rusty poly? Well, you said it's all apart. So get a hone and some kind of lubrication and start honing the rusty bores and see what they look like. I mean, if they've got big, horrible pits in them, those are going to have to be bored out. I mean, those poly blocks are pretty meaty, but pistons could be a problem. I don't really know what piston availability looks for them these days, but it's probably pretty bad. Just start honing it and see what it looks like. It's not rusty. It's seasoned. It's well seasoned. That performance build book that I showed in the Barracuda video, it says always start with a well seasoned block. Kind of funny. Cypher F is hoping to mill a single barrel slant 6 manifold into a 2-barrel one soon. Nice. I have heard people do that. Downtown Power and Sound said stellar Howlin' Wolf intro. Thanks for that. Thank you. Appreciate it. That might have been my worst performance of it ever. And I've performed it a lot. All Classic Restoration says, guess I need to finish porting the 906 heads I started on 30 years ago. Yes, I guess you do. Yeah. Nice. Joel Shooter said, back before my Ram Charger took a rest, I could roll into this bit of concrete that was next to a Taco Bell, rev it a bit, and ignite the 35 mutters on a bone stock 360. Yeah, I bet you could. I had a 360 Ram Charger briefly, and it was pretty impressive. Mexican Spec. Jamie, should I watch the video you put out today? I don't know. Do you like my videos? There's a lot of that in it. Dina Daughtry, what is the timeline for your 273 build? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe this winter. I don't know. I'd like to mess with it. I really would. But I don't know. I don't have a timeline. I don't have a timeline for anything. I try really hard not to. Willie the Wave. I write my own music and it sucks, but it's mine. I write music. I write a lot of music. You might call me prolific. I'll have to try and think of something that I can play of mine. The problem is most of it is either played with a band, and so there's no point in playing it by myself, or it's really, really, really sad. Yeah, I'm working on another album right now, but most of that is heavier stuff. I've actually played one of the songs on it for my intro, but it's just instrumental. I haven't written any vocals yet. Yeah, I've written tons and tons of music, and a lot of it sucked. I think some of it is pretty good. That is not my Studebaker. I want to make sure that is apparent to everyone. It is not mine. Burnout Garage. Any plans for you to head down to the Fall Fling? No, I will not be there. Paul Shea said, I'm the only Paul Shea. Nice. Uh-huh. My sister says sounds like a pinched nerve. Well, there's a big lump on my neck. Does that sound like a pinched nerve? There's been a lump there for like a long time. Helping Hand said live stream from Woodburn. Maybe. Live stream with McLovin and Bill Johnson at Woodburn. Okay. That could be fun. Might be very silly. Muscle relaxers are everyone's friend. Yeah. Hey, listen. I said what they're for racing. That's what they're for. They're not the wheel either of us would choose for our beautiful classic Patina Valiant. Yeah. They look fine. It's just not my thing. Not my thing. Oh, yeah, cool. Captain Kurt's Garage. If you're doing the offset shackle kit from Dr. Diff, which I will be eventually, which I'm doing right now, pay attention. There is a left and a right side. You can flip them around, and they look almost the same, but the bolt holes don't line up. Nice. Good to know. Oh, McLovin Ryan was late. I was test fitting those wheels on Llama Barn and making another video on the short wide. It'll be for shale shortly. Nice. Icy hot and another incline. Yeah, probably help. Don't have icy hot, but I have the other stuff that's the same thing. Empire Rust, what is up? Late again, was mowing and reorganizing the fleet. Dad LeBreton prefers red painted Kragers. And some people prefer both. Thank you. Some people prefer Fords. Barry Kuda with a great question. What was that dot to dot then rotate 180 degrees all about? Okay, I'll say it a third time. If you align, at least on your Mopar, I can't speak to other engines. I don't build other engines. Well, except that one time. If you put your timing gears dot to dot, your camshaft is not at TDC 1. It is 180 degrees out. So put your timing gears, your marks, dot to dot, and then rotate the crank once. I did that wrong. So both dots point upwards. Both dots upwards is TDC 1. Dots pointing each other is 180 out. And that is exactly what our friend, whose name I have already forgotten, I apologize, I'm terrible with names, the purple Roadrunner guy. Dang it. What's his name? Now he hasn't commented for a bit. Farley's Garage. It's exactly what he just learned because he installed it dot to dot and went, yep, it's lined up. I'm at TDC, and he put in his distributor, and it was 180 out, and it wouldn't run. So I told him that, and he flipped his distributor around, and it fired right up. And Chris Freemaster already responded to Barry Kuda in the comments. Larry Barker. If you get a loss, come on home to Greta River. And there you go, Robert Fitch. I've found that to write good music, you've got to write a lot of music. There's bound to be a few good ones in there. Feel the same. Yeah. Deadeye LeBreton. Well-seasoned block. Does filling it with 25% transmission oil, 25% acetone, 50% diesel fuel count? No. You're supposed to bury it in the backyard for 6 months. Keep that pinky down when you drink. This is not Dead Maserati Garage. I have been pinky up for a very long time, and I don't intend to stop now. Burnout Garage. Great point. Is it necessary? Yes, I think it is. Varyingly high RPM. I go for 2,000 RPM and rev it lightly, occasionally. You want it off idle. At that RPM, it's splashing a bunch of oil around off of the crank, throwing it up on the cam, and rotating the lifters. So, yeah, I do think it's necessary. Yeah, it probably is material or machining issues, and we're stuck with them. So there you go. Brad's Restorations. Yes, I'll have this stupid thing looked at as soon as I have healthcare again. Yep. And that lump on your neck is your head, Jamie, and it's swelling. There's no hope or cure. So do we always call you prolific? Because I will never remember that. John Kelly with the same joke about the big lump. Does your 273 have a single or dual point distributor from the factory? Single, of course. It was a low performance engine. Cannot wait to see that little engine scream. Gotta like the underdog engines. Yeah, I agree. Totally agree. See, Mark, there you go. Mark Sauvé. Nobody panic. I hit that stupid button again. God. This is ridiculous. I hate that button. Sauvé. That's a good one. I only know you never even called me by my name. I don't know any other David Allen Coe, and I don't really know why. Yeah. Huh. Talk about singing in a band. Last night, I paid $50 to see a rock cover band, and you know that I can do a better singing job than him feeling? Yeah, I'm not an amazing singer, and yet I feel that all the time. Well, I ran out of the bar when the singer tried AC/DC. Wow. Yeah. Russ Peter Stairwix with a great comment. Yo, Jamie, wrenching on Studebakers again, I see. Main problem wrenching on 40s and 50s cars in long-term storage is they always smell like dusty grandpa farts. Nice. Burnout Garage. Okay, honestly, if there was a problem, it would show itself right away, not after 20 minutes. You think that. It's cool you think that. It's great. But, not necessarily. And if it's machining or material, it wouldn't make a difference. Yes, buddy, it would. You need your lifter to rotate on the lobe, and the two build a happy little trail together. And that needs to happen, whether you've got the best flat tappets in the goddamn world or you don't. It is still necessary. Maybe not for 2,000 RPM for 20 minutes, but that's what I do, and it usually works. So yeah, I'm going to say it's still necessary, even if you have really, really, really good parts. Having said that, I know people that have fired up engines and not done that and run out and done burnouts, and everything was fine. And that's great, and I'm happy for all of them. But me, I'm not going to risk that with customers' engines. Jaybird says Marvel Mystery Oil is great for seasoning. I feel like Rust, Mother Nature's seasoning, is probably the best way to go. Yeah, I'm familiar with the symptoms of pinched nerves, and I don't have any of those, so yeah. Oops. Yeah, I hit the... Dude, this stupid mouse-like thing that I use has web browser buttons. They're right there. They're back and forward, but in every app, they do different things. And in the browser, it's forward and back. So I can just accidentally tap it, and everything goes bad. Excuse me. Yeah, getting Mark Sauvé's name right crashed the stream. Fox can fix it. How you doing? Yeah. Yo, it wasn't the button. Okay, well, Barracuda, like I said, that's Mopars. I don't know anything about Hemi 6s. I believe we've made that quite apparent. Mark Sauvé. I wiped out a cam once. Not sure why, but the headers were glowing. Timing. Not enough advance on braking. Done that many times. Yes, you can kill a cam lobe at any time. Absolutely. Absolutely. You might lose one on braking. It's happened to me. But it wasn't immediately obvious either. It didn't actually make noise until about 9 minutes in. So, yeah. There you go. Dan Tepper says I need to find a good local chiropractor that's into cars and then trade wrenching for fixing my neck. Yeah. Oh, Rooster has to go. Coffee is not working. All right, take it easy. Nice. Jaybird, any updates on DDG Bro Hot Dog Project / Fury. He's not working on anything currently, I don't think. He's supposed to be working on that Roadrunner. No idea where he's at on that. Not very far, I don't think. Yeah, we don't have any other. He still has to finish his last installment on his road trip. Anyway, so we'll see that in the coming weeks, and then we'll probably get another different video from him eventually, but it might be a bit. Mark Sauvé, how dare you? I love the thumball. The thumball is great, usually, for some things, I guess. I don't know. I've been using them for years. I started out with a super ancient one, and then I got the fancy Bluetooth ones. I just like them. I don't know. Dare to be different. And it is a thumball, not the other kind. Cart 70 with a mild song request. Baby, please don't go. I actually know that one. That's funny. Possible bot fly. Well, I don't think so, and it's been there for a long time. So would I have just died by now? Yeah. Brad's Restorations. Jamie, you referenced a term Formula S in the Barracuda video. What is that? That is the Barracuda performance model, 1960. I don't know if they had them for the 64, but they did for 65. They might have. I'm not sure on that. But anyway, early Barracudas and through 60. I think they still had them in 69. Definitely 68. Formula S was the good Barracuda. That was the the gooder one, the performance model. Yep. I see. Burnout Garage just wonders if we're doing this because it's effective or because it's an old wives' tale. Do you know if the factory ever had to break in camshafts? I have tried to get to the bottom of that, and no one knows. But supposedly no. But they did spin the engine assemblies on the assembly line. They spun them to some speed for some amount of time. Whether that was for cam and lifter break-in or to check for noises or what, they spun them. But they did not, as I understand, they did not run them. And once they were in the cars and running, they fired them up and drove them off the line. So I think that spin on the engine assembly line is all they ever got. Mm-hmm. That's what I get for using that fancy mouse. You know. Yeah, they don't make these for lefties. That's unfortunate. Nice. Huh. See how Tony will say my name on his next live. Hey, hit that like button if you haven't done it. I would appreciate that. We've got a low turnout tonight. I don't know what the deal is. There's something going on in the world. There has to be. Or no one likes me anymore. Either one is fine. Altair Fiddler with a story about a girl that wrote a letter to Carcraft decades ago. Something about, she saw something about girls getting car names from their dads. She showed it to her dad, and he just laughed. Her name was all car names. The best is here, but a little drunk. Nice. Do swamp coolers actually work? Alcier wants to know. I've never tested it, but I've heard they do. I've heard they're quite good. If you're a body guy that specializes in adjusting panel gaps and hinges, are you a chiropractor? Yeah, nice. How do you like that center force clutch? For the street, it is amazing. The pedal effort is nothing, and it is great. It holds awesome. No problems. Haven't got a bit of slip out of that. Yeah, it's pretty great. On the track, I think it is hindering my bank shifting because the center force has a weighted ring thing on it that makes the clutch hold better at high RPM. So yeah, apparently that's not great. Yeah, I might have cancer. Yeah, I know. It's not a tumor. I thought it was something like slipped or goobered up. Whatever it is, it's been that way for a long time. And I haven't died yet. Yeah, I've been meaning to go to a chiropractor, but then I have to give him money. Farley's Garage has had 2 bad hydraulic flat comp cams. Well, lifters were your real problem. Nice. Awesome. Yeah, this last cam was a stock cam. I had reground. Yeah, that's the way to go. That is the way to go and get your lifters resurfaced. I just broke it in on this live stream. No problem. Thanks, everyone. Oh, hell yeah. Congrats, my friend. Yeah. 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 Or you could just do it in the engine. Barracuda. I like you. It's a hell of an offer from Lovejoy there. You want to buy a Chevy truck? It's mint if you ignore everything about it. No, I'm good. Nice. Nice. Every Imperial got a 12-mile or something road test off the production line. Nice. Didn't know that. My mom said something about getting near a lot of people on their road trip. And yeah, there were invites from tons of more people that they just didn't have time for. Can we all get with Holly and or Dana for the baby's name? I think we can. Dana's good. Nice. Always hit the like button for DDG. What's not to like? Even Skittles, my bearded dragon, likes the vids. Appreciate that, Skittles. Matthew sent me $4.99. Whoops, wrong click. Thank you very much, Matthew. I appreciate that. For my 4-door 63 Polera, should I go with the Commando 273 or 318 Magnum? I think the 273 just for cool factor. Well, that's where I'm at. I'm also building an A body, and that was like the option for that car. So yeah. If I were you with the 4-door 63 Polera, I'd be doing a 318 Poly, but that's just me. I just like that era correct thing, you know? Having said that, Magnum's really good. Magnum's great right out of the box. Carb intake, change the cam, springs, and you're going to have a stout engine. And it's going to do more than the 273 is. But the Commando 273 is super, super neat. I just think, because it never would have come in your Polera, right? It would have come in any A-body, 64... Or no, I think the Commando came in 65. I'm pretty sure it did. Pretty sure it's 65, 6, 7 was the Commando 273. 273s were still available in 68. Don't know if the Commando made it that far. But anyway, it just wouldn't have come in that car. Well, and if it was in a Dodge, it would have been a Charger 273, which is also quite cool. But then you got to go hunt down those parts. So, you know, it's your call. I like the 273, but remember, it's a very small engine that it's limited. Yeah. See you later, Josh. Yeah, all right. Wow. He's still working on his Type 5 for the Comedy Club. Yeah. Joel Shooter. I read that when you replace the master and slave cylinders, you have to get the kind with the fluid already in it. Why? Well, the kind with the fluid already in it should hopefully come pre-bled, and you just bolt it on there and go. But that's not possible in a lot of applications, and you don't have to do anything. Bleeding clutch systems can be a big pain in the ass. But no, that doesn't sound right to me unless they know something I don't. Yeah, I wasn't even thinking about that. Yeah, could have had a 361. What's wrong with that? 361's a great engine. It's just wee. Respirator Sterilix is working with an old cobweb-laden memory, but I believe most brands did a breaker bar spin of engines being installed to make sure nothing was locked up, no break-in runtime. I saw this thing on the, I want to say, Trenton engine plant, wherever they build the big blocks, and there was a thing, the engines were all on like a carousel thing, and they were spun with some kind of electric motor or something. I can't speak to other brands, other times, or how long or what speed. I don't know. No idea. Robert Fitch likes Aspen for a baby name. That's pretty good. Call the baby Edsel. I don't think that's good luck. 318 Polly, are you trying to bankrupt this man? Ah, yes. This is why Fox Can Fix It built a Chevy 283, because it's not a common thing anymore. Absolutely. And again, that's what I'm doing with the 273. I mean, that is why I'm doing that. But again, I want the challenge of the 273, but also the other big reason I'm doing that is because it is the right V8 for that Barracuda. It is the only right V8 for that Barracuda. And in that Polara 63 B body, he's got other options. So, yeah. And the 273 never would have been in there. And so then you're hunting down cool original parts like, you know, he said Commando specifically. Well, those are expensive valve covers, and you need the D4B or an actual factory four-barrel manifold. And then you need the special air cleaner and the special chrome breather and the special chrome PCV valve. And then, you know, the internals if you want to do it right. And all that stuff is rare and kind of expensive. So you're going to do all that for a car that it doesn't belong in, right? I like the idea. I love the 273. It's just in that car, it's not what I would do. I would build a Poly. 2,000 RPM, 20 minutes, 40,000 revolutions. Would it be the same if I do it with a ratchet wrench? It would only take a month. Nice. Yeah. Ken A. I have a 72 Charger 318 904 8 1/4 with 79,000 original miles. Is it worth doing any mods to get some performance out of it? What would you suggest if so? There is a lot you can do. And I have to refer back to something I said earlier when we were talking about building a 340. Excuse me. What is your goal? What do you want to do? I mean, you just want some extra horse ponies? You can get that. Set of pistons, raise the compression, mild port job on the head, cam and lifters, and matching springs. Make sure you don't buy a comp. They're garbage. Put a good double roller chain set in it. 72 Charger. I happen to know Magnum manifolds fit. That's a slight upgrade over the factory manifolds, but not insane. Yeah, clean up your factory heads. You can give them the most more mild port job ever, a performer manifold, and a small Edelbrock carburetor. And that thing will be great. Don't put it on a dyno. You don't want to know what the number is, but you're going to have a lot of fun. But do you need that? What are you trying to do here? I mean, there are ways. There's so much more you can do than what I just said. You could make that engine absolutely ridiculous and worthless on the street. It's possible to make 400 horsepower with a 318, but why would you want to do that? Yeah, I don't know. Consider the application. That's the most important part. What are you trying to do? You just want to put a bit more pep in its step? There's plenty you can do to achieve that. But I would not go out and buy a bunch of high-dollar performance parts to slap on it. Well, okay, fine. Dodge V8s then. I don't know anything about Hemi 6s. I believe I said that. But on the Mopar V8s, to which I am accustomed, if you install the timing ... it is 180 degrees out. And if you want any more proof of that, the guy in the comments whose timing was ... and his distributor was 180 out, and then he reversed it like I said, and it ran, I think that's all the evidence we need here tonight. And also, it's happened to me 2 or 3 times. Sometimes learning is hard. Yeah. Altair Fiddler with a comment about the late Mopar magazine that had a passion for the old school 318, the Poly. They had stroker versions. Yes, it has been done. It has been done. Tavo, what's up? I've already been here for an hour and 50 minutes, and I'm going to leave soon because my neck hurts. I have to play a song. Yeah. Do they make an intake for the max wedge heads for a low deck like a 383? I don't know. Maybe, but I don't know. And that is a wildly different port setup too. It's very, very different. Yeah. Yeah, very true. Yes. The poly downside, of course, they're heavy and they take up a lot of space. Yes, they do. Recommend for nostalgia in bigger cars. Hey, that's what I said. Yeah. All Classics Restoration has a hydraulic clutch setup in his 68 Cornet made of Toyota parts and fancy engineering. Yeah. Yeah, Joel, I didn't realize your truck was new enough to have a hydraulic clutch. That's very interesting. Mark Sauvé says, nowadays they spin up NASCAR engines with an electric motor. Is it a Spintron? I bet it's a Spintron. Matthew already has the 273, and this doesn't need to be fast. Yeah, I mean, again, cool engine. I've already made the case. I love them. It's not what I would do in your car, but if that's what you want to do it. It's your life. Donnie is late. He's in Wisconsin, and he's had success on his mission. Nice. Nice. He sent me a picture of a flat tire on a rental van the other day, though. That was fun. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, someone with a different answer about the whole 72 Charger thing, which was any engine fits, so put a different engine in it. Ah, come on. 318s can do cool stuff. Michael with that comment. A Hemi beats a wedge, but a cannon valve beats a wedge just by a smaller amount. Is an old style 318 a true cannon valve? Yes. 2.6 Hemi. Ah, dang. Kelly Smith missed out, been really busy, but checking in for the outro. Well, all right. Stay in your pram. Yeah, I will do that. I prefer to stay in my pram. Willie the Wave. Should I announce I have to pee? I feel I should announce that. Awesome. Awesome. Good to know. Make sure it's ... not keyway. Ha ha, Ford problems. Don't put, it's Dodge problem too. Remember the 67 Charger? They put the keyway up. Yeah. Good times. Burned Out Garage says Indy makes max wedge low deck intakes. Single plane like a tunnel ram. Don't remember part numbers. Wow. Oh, man. Dina Daughtry. All the stuff you mentioned for the Commando 273 was in the trunk of the 66 Dart that was stolen, with an extra set of heads, totally complete, and extra dual point distributor. That's terrible. Terrible. They used the Hemi name for a K car? It's news to me. I've got the neck pain thing happening also. She says hi! Oof. Huh. I'm always impressed that polys fit in A bodies. I don't think they fit in early A's, though. Well, they do fit depending on how much you're willing to spend and how much you like swinging a hammer. Yeah. Second the regrind support. Second the regrind. Support your local cam grinder. Cody Hollinger. Yes, do that. I don't know that CCR song. Why does everyone want me to play CCR all the time? I don't understand. It's not impressive without a band. It's not even right. Dalton Sparks, cutting out early. Take it easy. Have a good one. Friggin' Hondas are pretty close to Hemis. It said Hemi 2.6 on the side. That is news to me. Wow. I have never seen that ever. Well, I like CCR too, but that doesn't mean... how about Fool in the Rain? Can you do the drums? He does more of a shuffle than that. That's pretty straight. I don't like that song. I left the guitar mic on the whole time. Probably adding some extra ambiance. Justin Towns Earl. That sounds like a bunch of different country singers' names thrown together. Tim Jefferson. Finally got my 440 donor RV back to Iowa from KC. Thanks to everybody who was just about to offer help. Yeah. Uh-huh. You could do Bill Withers, I can't write left-handed. Nice. Nice. I've never seen... Yeah, I've never done Kate Carr stuff, ever. Anything Bill Withers. Didn't I do a Bill Withers song once? Maybe I didn't. Jeff Deal's favorite Zeppelin song. Yeah, I'm not Bonzo, but did you hear the kick rolls? I can do the kick rolls. I'm using the Ludwig Speed King pedal and everything. My bass drum's only 24 inches. A measly 24 inches. Well, wow. What key is that in? Dang it. Maybe I didn't do Ain't No Sunshine, but I'd like to. That's a good one. That's in A minor. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Gone away. I should know this. I should. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. She's always gone too long. Ah, guitar's out of tune. Anytime she goes away. Strumming almost sounded like Moby Dick. Oh, I can do that one. On the drums, but also. You're supposed to play it in drop D. Is it? No, it's in D. But I can't actually play it right. It's definitely in D, and if you want to go check, I'll wait. While I tune my stupid guitar. Can I actually... I don't know if I can actually... Maybe I can. What key is it in? I can sing King of the Road, but I don't think I've ever played it on a guitar. I told you it was in D. He actually plays it in drop D, which I didn't know until very recently. Don't know that song, Willie. There was another song I was actually going to play. I need a bassist. Baby, please don't go. Baby, please don't go. Baby, please don't go down to New Orleans. You know I love you so. Baby, please don't go. Donnie can do bass. Well, I can do bass. You play guitar. Paige, the only 60s heavyweight that didn't go fusion. I can prove to you. Good night, everybody that's taken off. Appreciate you hanging out. I can prove to you that I'm a Jimmy Page fan very, very easily. Super easily. Are you ready for this? If you know Jimmy Page, then you'll know. Yeah. Okay. But wait, there's more! I might be a fan. I've never played Highway Star, and don't take this personally, but I don't want to. Have a great week. Rich Jordan, thanks for hanging out. Everybody knows what time it is. It is that time. Yes. Did someone not know what Drop D is? Rusty Pliers 74. Oh, Daily Driver exploded. All I have now is a 1973 Challenger that's in pieces across many states. May have to run the stock top end for now. It'll be fine, brother. Run the stock top end. It's going to work. Yeah. K-Car Hemi engine. 4G54. Yeah, that's a Mitsubishi number. I'd know that anywhere. Thank you, John Kelly. Take it easy. Werewolves on Wheels. Don't know it. Play some Duck. I don't know any Duck. You know that. I'm not playing Turtles again. Willie the Wave says keep playing. But what do I play? Ooh, I'll play. Yeah, no, it's the right color. It's got the right pickups. That's the important part. The changed bridge pickup. I should know Eastbound and Down, but I don't. Robert Fitch described the first 4 bars of Highway Star to me in the first live chat he joined. I don't remember that. Something's wrong. Didn't I play Oh Well last week? I think I did. Says that Uncle Tony said put the timing ... and then describes how to set the distributor. No, I don't know any Beck. Or Jeff Beck for that matter. Well, wrong tuning. That's Dadgad. What are you talking about wrong tuning? That's it. Is that one called Black Mountainside? I think that one's called Black Mountainside. But I forgot. Sorry. I need to leave. That's all I know. Dang it. I'm done. I know one Gary Clark Jr. song. Exactly one. Yeah. Ow. I hate Werewolves of London. Why did people keep asking about that song? I hate it. I can play Boom Boom. Yeah, I like Boom Boom. Used to cover that. Smoke on the Water. Yeah, it's the first song I ever heard. Really loves me anyway. Appreciate that. No, I always think it's Brawny R Stomp, but it's not. It's Black Mountainside. That's the other one. Black Mountainside. Don't know Doobie Rose either. I know one Black Crow song badly, and only the important part. But I'm going to stop playing and get off and, I don't know, take some ibuprofen and a nap or something. And, yeah. Can you do Barracuda? Get out! Warren Zevon. Still never listened to him. But Werewolves of London by that other guy? Hate that song. Is that Warren Zevon? Whoever did that song, I don't like it. Annoys the crap out of me. Yeah, you're not yourself when you're hungry. Okay, bye, everybody. Take it easy. Thanks for hanging out. And I will see you in the comments and next week. Yeah, what my mom said. That checks out. My mom's the resident Led Zeppelin guru. Thanks, Lori. Appreciate that. Thanks, everybody. I'm leaving. Goodbye. Oh, Stephen Andrews changed his picture to the Hemi 2.6 badge. Wow. That's dedication. Change it back. Bye, everybody. Over and out. All right, well, I guess I don't like Warren Zevon then. That's what we learned. Bye.